Hey everybody, welcome to the nightly vid. SPY, you're going to see two up again on the day. You'll notice the week still green and getting greener. So then you go to the Qs. Yeah, that week got greener, didn't it? Yeah, she did. Right, two up, two up, two up. They're just buying all week this week. As far as how you do that, you can see on the 30s in here. You get the inside 30. So in the morning, it's going to be a little more choppy. We let them open. There were some hammers in there, but you had Powell's. So they go inside 30. You'll see this. Right, and they start by poking down and then reclaiming back into full time frame continuity. That is what you're looking for. And you're gonna see how they do that. Right, they're chopping them up, completely stuck inside of this range. All right, so you're gonna see the lows here, stuck inside. New low, hammer, fiver right there. Right, and then you also had the 2-2, which turned into 3-2, and off they went. US 500 or the SPY. It's a little bit easier in here. You're gonna see this. So they started with an outside 60, which gives you your broadening formation prior to Powell, followed by the 3-2 shooter, Puke, followed by inside up here, followed by 2-2-2-5er here, bang, up they go. You'll see some reclaim of the mother bar and this stuff, end of day to go after it, plus some 3 in here to go after, right? So some really good stuff in there today, and in the morning there was some triangle, but small range. That being said, today, what did we see in the energies? Well, did we talk about that? We did, and that's what we love to see. Here's our inside day, Puke, below 94. You see they hit 91.72 today. If we go to XOP, you see the inside day pivot machine gun of all these guys. They got wrecked. And this was before energy numbers, yes, but that's why we keep them on the radar. Oil also got wrecked a bit today. You can see just PMG of those guys. You go to CVX. Is that a 322? Yep. Puke. PMG of those guys. If you get an MPC, 322. Yep. Puke. VLO. 322. Yep. Puke. Right. So you got a FANG. This is the last one to trigger right here. Puke. All right. So they just got wrecked. That was fun. We also saw all the tech names. GoDaddy. Is that a 2-2 hammer back into a 3? Yep. Rip them to the highs, right? And if you missed that in the morning, there was the double inside 60 here momentum measured move, which we'll see if that follows through tomorrow. You're going to see Microsoft. Did open as a slight gap up this morning, but the inside day measured move, bang. And it takes out. See on the week, there's your weekly magnitude. So now exhaustion risk, but they're up there. If we go to crowd, let me talk about that. Yeah, we did. Here's your 1, 3, 1, 2, boom. All right. And didn't quite make them all the way up in there, but you'll see intraday, this is some really fun stuff. So we had the 3 and the 15er this morning, which tells us to go after this. Right here, the inside 5, that's the first one. Here's your hammer counter shooter. That's the second. Then there's your ripper, hammer counter shooter here. Then you had the 3 poke up, reclaim, right? So they didn't bring them in a little bit. And then here, you'll see the hammer 15er above that, 356, all the way up into 364 before reversing here, followed by the 3 poke up, poke down. So some really good examples of what we look for. There's also the inside bar add in here, which gave you a little more, but amazing stuff. And if you're a 3060 guy, here it is. 2, 2, 2 above this, 358, 35 takes you to 363 before the reversal. Amazing stuff today, and hopefully you guys were able to get a lot of that. There was also square. So you're going to see square, the 2, 2, boom, blast off, right? And that confirms measured move weak, right? Something we talked about. And how do you get in on that? Here's your 1, 3, 1, 2, 60, just like crowd on the daily above 96.47, trades about 99 end a day. If we go to Snow, you're going to see Snell. They had the RevStrat 60 here. Is that something you look for? Yes, it is. Trades 1 to 86 after that. You'll notice the 2-2 day did cause the weekly momentum measured move. So this still has a lot to go if that's going to play out the way it is. And it's going to look like that first if it's going to do that. We go to the quarter. Still reclaiming all this stuff. We'd like to see an outside here again, 238.55. So we're going to keep an eye on that type of stuff. No reason not to. And you got a lot of winning positions to go after. We did see a few things not work, like AXP and whatnot. You'll see in the morning on the daily. All right, so we had the 15 or 2-2 here to trigger the day, and then that was it. Stop it out. So be it. Right. There's also Upstart, which did break the day in the morning. And so it was 15ers this morning, 2 down, 2 up, and then comes back in, and then Mother Bar here all day, like this. So you can see there was a slight poke down RevStrat here, and then they chopped them up again. So not too much going on there. We'll see. But that being said, a lot of crazy good stuff today. Hopefully you guys had that this morning and in the afternoon. That being said, into tomorrow, we're going to first take a look at these sectors. So in the sectors, you'll see some real estates hammer if they're going to firm back up. you'll see the banking, KBE hammer with regional banks, hammer pivot machine gun. So these could turn into some bigger moves in there tomorrow in the banks, which have been getting killed recently. Obviously, energies, you're going to need a lot to firm that up. Transports, you'll see the hammer day with industrials inside day. And we do see a VIX, potentially a 2-2, if they're going to start doing some correction. So we'll be aware of that with the exhaustion risk on SPY. Outside of that, the inside day in the JNUG GDX, which is your gold miners. Gold has been flat, so not too much going on there. And let's see if we're missing anything. You got a 3 in healthcares and biotech, so you have a broadening formation play off of in those guys tomorrow, which is some pretty tight ranges in here. You can see they're really chopping them up. But the main things will be your real estates, regional banks, transports, and industrials. So what does that tell you to look at? Well, in the transports, you're going to have UPS, which got wrecked here. So if there's any chance at coming back from this, you'll see the triangle in here on the day, like so. All right, so if that turns into 2-2, maybe they bring it back, right? From exhaustion risk, the week is still blood red, but you have gone into exhaustion risk, right? Taking the lows of the mother bar. So maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Could turn into a 2-2-2 as well if they're going to keep puking. FedEx, slightly, right? Not so much. UNP, slightly, so not so much. If we go to Norfolk Southern, you're going to see potentially a low hammer back up, pivot machine gun of these guys. So a little bit better looking there and stronger. If we go to other transports, you have like the airlines Delta, which went 3-2-2 today. So you can see mother bar still in the week, but could go 3 to get out of that 65.94. If we go to AAL, 2 down in green on the week. Momentum hammer, so we got a UAL, went 2-2 today. So it looks like, some transports down and then these ones recovered. So you got at least the airlines, specifically a little stronger. ALK. We got a JetBlue today, and they had a pretty nice kicker inside day this morning. But so you'll have some hammers on the sectors, but not really much actionable signals in the transports overall. At best, I would say Uber here, which is a little bit smaller of a range, but it could get better above this 72.41. And you'd go for the outside week, and if that worked, maybe a 2-2 month, right? But then you're chopping them up a little bit. So we're going to remove this stuff in here. And before I do that, I want to keep the list of continuation names. All right, and actually before we finish that off, I want to show you Adobe today. Is also a pretty cool one. 3-2-2 blast, right? Takes right up in here to the penny, 540. All right, and this is a good example of sometimes they just go, right? You might miss out on it. There was the 15ers in here, but that was about it. When you go in there in the morning, right? The 5ers, they just all morning, they took the offer and did it today. So the best signal right here was the 1er, right? Big momentum measured move. Then you had the slight 2-2-2 in here, and those are the only good ones, slightly in there as well. Then you got the bigger triangle layout, right? But okay, that being said, done with yesterday. We will see continuation. These are the names we're going to keep up in here. And then we will get the inside day, 2-2 day, 3-2-2, rev strat, that type of stuff set up in here. So 2-2 day, we'll have KRE, and then XLF question mark, which is KRE, KBE, and then XLF question mark, which has no signals. And that tells us Citigroup, which could become a 2-2-2 day. When we look at the transports, which is IYT, which is industrials, we're going to have Uber in there. And we did not look at Love, but not really many airlines setting up. You can see Love today blasts them to the highs. When we look at the airlines, it's got room to go. So what we could say is airlines relative strength just for now with that stuff. Real estates, not one I'm normally trading very often, could become the 2-2. And we look at this on the week, it's not really a buy. So personally, I'm just going to shy away from that because I'd prefer to trade with weekly continuity in our favor. So I'm going to do some scans and we'll see what we got. While I was doing my scanning, I just forgot, or I guess I might have not had it up, but Staples does have the potential 1-2-2 rev strat for tomorrow for that's for sectors. So that's something I'm going to be keeping in mind while I go through the list here. All right, this is what we got. So we are going to see bullish and bearish setups. Right? So and the inside days, we'll have MRK. It could go inside up or down. It's part of the healthcare's XLV, which went 3. So if XLV becomes 3, 2 up or down, this will be 2 up or down with it. With stars, PLTR, momentum hammer. It's been on a tear. You'll have SMCI. 322 month with the inside day to reconfirm as 212 up, or could negate 212 down. In the industrials, we have XLI, which is inside day, and I imagine again it's mostly those airlines, which is your Jets ETF. You see the inside day and up today, which got those moving. There is CMI in there, 3-1 day up at the highs. There's not much previous range to come through. If we go to the staples, Kroger inside day, STZ inside day, and when we look at staples, XLP is a rev strat potentially. So I don't know if there's some just overperformance of some of those in there or what's going on, because a lot of them are down. I think Hershey's was the most interesting one today, big ol' 3. So we'll keep that in mind for later once we can get out of that 3. But not much to really talk about. Like Coke got killed back to the downside off a rev strat, right? Pepsi still down. So there's not much to talk about. There's a few that we have on the list there, and that's about it. In apparel, you see Under Armour inside day. So either back through the triangle or expando of the triangle. And when we look at retail, you see they go 3 on the day today. So again, back through that 3, or do we expand it is the question. And they were on a tear before, so you're going to see we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days inside of these 2 bars. Maybe it's time to explode above that stuff, or puker if they reclaim. But you'll have on in there as well. Inside day, up or down. Prefer it down with the PMG, but we'll see. And then in discretionary, which is XLY, you'll see they had the hammer from last night, which I believe we talked about briefly, but went to the highs today, right? You'll see in the restaurants, MGM inside day, LVS inside day after a tear, and then Penn inside day for a 212 reversal or continuation down. So we'll be watching those. There's also, I think that's all of them. MGM, LVS, Penn. There's a few other things in there like Shake Shack, which is more restaurants than hotel, which we could have on that list just for simultaneous break watch, but I don't want to throw too much stuff at you. That being said, 2-2s, we already talked financials. Right, maybe XLF firms back up. We'll have Citigroup in there as a hammer on the day. You see, they tried to PMG today, just didn't go after it. And then transports, right? It's already airlines relative strength. Maybe Uber. Already talked about that. And then in the rev strats, you'll have a few financials. So you'll see Fizz, potentially a 1-3-2 2-bar rev strat with the outside bar hammer. And that's coming from the bottom of this on the month. Or on the week, I mean. 3, 1... 2 weeks stuck inside, 2 down, potential 3 back through it. So that's something we'll want to know about, because maybe they start really gunning. If financials firm back up, that'd be the first one to do it, I imagine. With Citigroup, I didn't really look at the other banks. Bank of America, not so much. JP Morgan, not so much. Morgan Stanley, not so much. Right? We do see things like Coin went on a tear today with Hood, Momentum Hammer, which I need to add in there. Something I want to know about above this tomorrow, 40.59. If we take a look then in the cruise lines, you'll have a rev strat NCLH. And that's also going to be a lot of rev strats here in discretionary. So Macy's, rev strat, Dick's, rev strat, SIG, which is jewelry, rev strat into an outside day. Then Tractor Supply Co., potentially a rev strat. There's also Home Depot and Lowe's inside day, which we can add in there as discretionary, but a lot of stuff in discretionary that I'm seeing on the lists. So that's something we'll want to know tomorrow if things get moving. And then I added in there Natty Gas. We'll have the numbers tomorrow. So LNG is an inside day. And then KOLD and Boyle, which you can see KOLD starts as 2 up in red here. So we'll see tomorrow, but that's at weekly magnitude. Still got this weekly triangle they could come back through. And Boyle is the inverse of that. So you're going to see it's inside week and down. And you have a 2 down and green hammer day. So we'll see what comes of that. Nat Gas /NG. You see 3 in here. And then Mother Bar to the 3 followed by Hammer if they're going to try and reclaim it. What we will see on the week, though, is it's inside week down, which is also a bad thing. So it's kind of an up or down trade. If it fails to the upside, it could really puke. And if it fails to the downside, it could really rip. We do have, winter months coming. It's been pretty cold in Wisconsin, so I wouldn't be surprised if it does start coming back up on, more demand and whatnot. But that being said, that's about all I've got for you tonight. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the vid, had a good trading day, and I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning if you're in stat, and if you are not, I'll see you guys in tomorrow night's nightly vid.